Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Joe. I'll be leading you this morning on this guided meditation. Let me invite you to join me in closing your outer eyes with a nice, big, deep inhalation through your nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Again, through the nose, let's take in all that is good, that serves our highest and best good. As we exhale and dispel everything that does not serve us, all tension, negativity, distracting thoughts, let them just flow outward with your breath. As we breathe in, feel that divine essence within. Taking it all in. Just feel the rise and fall of your core, of your center. And allow your breathing to grow deeper, more relaxed, more steady. With every inhalation and every exhalation. Should any distracting thoughts enter your mind, do not resist them, just acknowledge them, let them pass with ease, and return your concentration, your focus to your breathing. Just allowing it to flow naturally, without strain, without effort. Feel all your tension melt away. As your breathing grows deeper. As we center ourselves in oneness. Centering our attention on the divinity within, our Christ light that burns deep within. Illuminating vitalizing, as our source and our supply. let us turn our attention to the top of our head. As we allow any tension to begin dissolving, moving away, any tingling or pain or any throbbing sensation you may feel, just see it moving and being pulled away as you exhale. It pulls away. We move down to the facial features, the chin, the cheeks, the jaw. Just feel it all drop and melt away. See that tension, discomfort just drop down, flowing downward out your body, down your neck, your arms, your hands, your chest, down to your stomach. See it all just melt away. That tension, discomfort, whatever it may be, being pulled away and replaced with complete ease and comfort and relaxation. As it drops down to your legs, to your feet, your toes, down and out, like water down a drain. It's flushed from your body. As we recognize our wholeness and our completeness, it is our natural state. Be still and know. Your Christ light within. Allow its comforting presence and power to ease, calm, and just allow you to be and to flow in this presence, in this awareness. This universal universal source and supply that is our sufficiency. That is the be-all and the end-all. In which we live, move, and have our being. Stay with me in this knowing. Connected and unified, flowing. In the vast expanses of the infinite intelligence that is all protecting and all guiding. Feel the power of this connectedness, of this connectivity, this unification. Flowing. Taking you, me, anywhere we see it, anywhere we visualize and could imagine. This power takes us here, now, always. Let us breathe. Deeper. 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 Moving back now to this space and this place, I invite you to slowly, at your ready, just return to this present moment, bring your consciousness back. complete, knowing your wholeness, our oneness. I invite you to just open your outer eyes. This concludes our meditation. Thank you.
So moving from that inner place of bliss and knowing, we can open our hearts, swing wide the doors of our hearts. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors and let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore, no. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. A life about love, life about laughter, life about comfort and smiles. A life about love, life about kindness, life about hearts open wide. Life about love, life about passion, about taking a chance. Life about love, life about service, life about lending a hand. Said it's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors, let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. One more time. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. Swing wide. Yeah, shake them, come on now. The doors on this heart of mine. Woohoo! Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's so, I am Eileen, and somebody recognized that. How lovely. Let me see what we got here. We have some announcements. I know I'm going to welcome you. That's what I'm going to do first. I am going to welcome you, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Redlands, and thank you to everyone joining us on Facebook Live, YouTube, and here in our beautiful sanctuary. We're so glad that you're here today. CSL Redlands is a new thought community living an ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from all the world's religions, religious traditions, and spiritual paths, and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into the world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence.
Who what?
I'm here to help you learn. And our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you are here for the first time, would you raise your hand so that we could welcome? We have a first timer. Very good. We have a little gift for you there. We know you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we are delighted to have you with us here today. A gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and put them away, and you may enjoy the service more fully. Our announcements, they're pretty much the same as they've always been. They're on the back of your bulletin. I invite you to take the bulletin home with you for reference, easy reference. They are suitable for framing, and so you might want to do that. You know, you could get a collection of them, 52 of them, as a matter of fact, per year. Let's see, I will indicate, and I'm not going to go over all of these because they are there and we have talked about them in the past several times, but next Sunday is First Sunday Potluck, and it is October 1st, and the theme is Oktoberfest. There's going to be, I'm sure, sauerkraut and brats and lots of beer. Correction. I've just been told there will be no beer. I'm very sorry, I tried. Whoop. Okay, I believe that will do it. Everybody enjoy the service today. Thank you, Gilman. You saved me from having... Oh, there's one more thing I found out. Oh, remember, the blue piggies are on your tables, and if you have any change in your pockets or in your purse, I invite you to drop it in the piggy. We are still collecting change for several wonderful projects here at the center. You have these flyers. I invite you to read those, take care of those. They are Citizens Climate Lobby and the Sound of Recovery. Both of these are very powerful experiences. There was one more thing. Oh, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I found out I was elderly. Remember I shared that with you? It turns out, it's not just a phase. Once you're elderly, you're pretty much elderly. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I love to see you all here. You are incredible people.
Thank you, Eileen. She just said that you said that there's no beer. No beer. With Oktoberfest upon us, there's a song that I'm not going to do right now because it's so just not in the moment, but in heaven there is no beer. In heaven there is no beer. And the next line is, that's why we drink it here. This is a lovely little centering piece of music from Doug LeBeau. I don't know if you know who Doug LeBeau is, but he was the music minister at the Center for Spiritual Living in North Hollywood for many years, and did many wonderful music things there. He had a day job working for a little company called Disney. may have heard of it. Anyway, he eventually became a minister himself. He was a minister up at Apple Valley Center for Spiritual Living. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. All is well. I'm so grateful that all is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is.
Thank you, Al. Proverbs 24, verse 36 says, "For a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again." Ariana Huffington said, "Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success." Clarissa Pincola Estes writes, "Though fairy tales end after 10 pages, our lives do not. We are multi-volume sets. In our lives, even though one episode amounts to a crash and burn, there is always another episode awaiting, and then another. There are always more opportunities to get it right, to fashion our lives in the ways we deserve to have them. Don't waste your time hating a failure. Failure is a greater teacher than success. Listen, learn, go on. Let us remember." Let me invite you to join me in closing your outer eyes in a moment of stillness here, and recognizing that there is only one power, one presence, one source that is my supply and my sufficiency, your supply, your sufficiency. Knowing that this power, this universal mind that I call God, you may wish to call it whatever you prefer, is the creator of all things. And looking at this creation, looking at the mountains, the rivers, the ocean, the streams, the birds of the air, the beasts of the field, each and every one of you here in the audience, and all of those who may be watching us online. I can only know that it's a source and a power of beauty, order, all creation, all creative, all powerful. Knowing this beauty, this divine source that is mine, that is yours, that we are unified with and at one with. Here in this place, in this space, I know I am blessed, you are blessed. And in this collective community and oneness, I just invoke blessings to each and every one of you in the audience, here today, online, viewing us from home, or wherever you may be in this place in the world. I open up this time love, community, spirit that resides within each and every one of us. It opens us up to the message to be delivered here today by Sonja Prince. This power, this source that supplies Al Yankee with his beautiful gift of music and talent. I bless all those who serve on our board of directors, who keep CSL Redlands thriving, functioning, growing in all its power, in all its glory, in all its good. And that's what it is. It's all good. For we experience our best and greatest good in this unification, in this power, in this source that I call God, that you may choose to call whatever you feel is appropriate. But I know it is truth that cannot be denied, and how grateful I am for it. And so I release this word to that universal law, that divine power that always responds yes. I let it be so. And so it is.
You can count on me, I'll be there. Count on me, anytime, anywhere. Count on me, if you're not strong, you can count on me. I'll be along. Well, sometimes things just happen that were never in your plan. You hope that it will be alright and try to understand. Well, you can count on me, I'll be there. You can count on me, anytime, anywhere. Count on me, if you're not strong, you can count on me. I'll be along. But what's the use of trying when things just turn out wrong? Makes you feel like giving up, but darling, just hang on, 'cause you can count on me, I'll be there. Count on me, anytime, anywhere. Count on me, if you're not strong, you can count on me. I'll be along. I'm change, change, slower than eternity or faster than the eye can see. Change, change, the only thing that's permanent from your feet up to the firmament is change, change. Things were never meant to stay the same, so let go of the fear and blame and change, change. If you're looking for security, then know that there will always be change. Count on me, I'll be there. Count on me, anytime, anywhere. Count on me, if you're not strong, you can count on me. I'll be along. I'm change, change, slower than eternity or faster than the eye can see. Change, change, the only thing that's permanent from your feet up to the firmament is change, change. Things were never meant to stay the same. So let go of the fear and blame and change, change. If you're looking for security, then know that there will always be change. There'll always be change. There'll always be change. Thank you.
Good morning. So what will there always be? Change. Thank you. Thank you, Al. Well, good morning, beautiful people. Okay, let's see, put this down, turn this on. All right. How's everybody doing today? Okay, so, good day? New day. Okay, so everybody knows who I am. Well, most of you. I'm Sonja Prince. I'm the spiritual director here. And today we're going to talk about living everyday wonder. And we're going to focus in on failing and how we fail and what we do when we fail. Because, just like the song said, we can always count on change. Things will change. So, this idea of living everyday wonder is finding the sacred and the wonder in the mundane. And so this entire month we were focusing on work. And early on I talked about work versus vocation. And so what we know about work is that something that we do to earn. That's what we do to earn money. But then I talked about our vocation. Vocation is something that we do because we are called to do it. The vocation is your voice into the world. So if the vocation is divine energy always ready and is working within you, and that is our voice into the world. So I want to tell you about this little story about vocation. So you know my husband, Daryl, he's an engineer and he works with professional aeronautics. But his vocation is reaching out to the public, and especially when it comes to mentorship. So he joined this program. He signed up for this program, and I watched as he poured into this young man. He was 14 years old, and he started to mentor him because in school, the teachers kind of looked upon him as not going to do so well. Maybe, I don't want to use the word failure, but he was headed down in the wrong direction. So as Daryl began to mentor him and pour into him and show him just what the possibilities for his life could be. And I remember the first time Daryl took him to his job where he works, and he showed him how pilots are trained. And so you might know about a simulator computer game that that you can play on the computer. But they have these monstrosities of simulators at his job. I think one time they had up to 11 of them, different kinds. And the pilots would come and train, and that's how they get their training hours in the simulator. And you can put it on full motion, and it can do this and can do that. You can do this and do that. You can throw in some rain and any kind of obstacles you can throw in. And I remember Daryl coming back and saying the wonder on this 14-year-old's face when he saw that. So there's always these possibilities. And so that's what Daryl loved to do. He began to pour into this young man. And then we saw the outcome, part of the outcome of that, when we went to a award ceremony for him. And what he had done was, instead of being obstinate in the classroom, he joined the ROTC. So he joined this ROTC, and he was beginning to get his little, they have these beautiful bars. So he began to get these little bars for his achievements. And I can remember the pride on his face, and I can remember how he talked about, his grandmother talked about, now how the teachers saw him, began to see him in the classroom. And so that is a vocation. What we do in the world is work. We work. And sometimes our work can be our vocation when we are doing what our heart is called to, for us to do. So the talk title today is Failing Forward. So in Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter 1 through 8, but I'm not going to read all of it, it talks about there's time for everything, and he talked about it and he sang about it in this song. There is a season, a time appointed for everything, and a time for every delight, an event or purpose under the heavens, right? So failing forward is about endings, but it's also about beginnings. So in many circumstances, failure is a given. We know that in some things we will fail. But a person chooses, what a person chooses to do with that failure is called resilience. If they can pick themselves up from the pit that they may have found themselves in. And so one of the things that I want to tell you about is when I was working, I've always worked in the medical field. And so I worked first in orthopedics, and then I switched on to radiation oncology. And so I worked in radiation oncology for a long time, but when the pandemic hit, companies started doing what? Downsizing. So they started to downsize the employees. Even some companies shut down. And so I was downsized, and I was told, because we merged with another company in Tennessee, you won't be coming back. So I was in shock. I mean, I went to work on Friday just like everybody else. I was happy, and then I got a call from my boss about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's not unusual for my boss to call me because we have regular scheduled meetings on Friday about census and people that are coming in and my marketing. And it was really tough to do marketing during the pandemic because you couldn't go in other offices. And I would call on the medical oncologist and I would say the same thing. We know that you have a choice, but if your patient needs radiation, we will get them in within the week. We will clear it out with their insurance, and we will bring them in. So we know you have a choice on where you send your patients. Please consider us, because we can get them in right away. So I'm just saying that to say, I felt a little bit of that failure. And for a while there, I sat in it. And I just became where I would wake up in the morning, I would get dressed up just like this, put on my jewelry, and I would go downstairs, and I would sit in my home office all day because I wanted to take back my control. You know, someone told me that I couldn't come in the office anymore, but I could go in the office because I have one downstairs. So that's what I did. But I had to pull myself up out of the muck and the pit that I found myself in and stop looking at myself as a failure, because I wasn't. That failure that I felt was actually an opportunity to do something different, to look at something different. And I got to sit with that and say, what's next, Sonja? What's next for you? What would you like to do next in your life? So I thought about it, and I started taking courses. And so I'm saying that to say you can do the same thing. So we know that in this climate of the pandemic, people were displaced, And they may have felt like this as well, but we can always pick ourselves up. So we need to consider how our lives are shaped by the stories we tell ourselves, right? I'm telling myself that I'm a failure because this thing, this job, this work, I was no longer there. But I had to change the script of what I was telling myself and step into something new, and that's exactly what I did. So failing, we can fail forward or we can fail backwards. And so I'm going to give you some characteristics of failing backwards. Playing the blame game. How many of us has done that? I blame my employers. I blame them for me not being there. Repeating the same mistakes. If a mistake was made, failing backwards is repeating that same mistake over again. Expecting never to fail. So you're just walking around with blinders on. I can't fail, I can't fail, I can't fail, I can't fail. And then it happens and you fall in the hole. So that's falling backwards. But falling forward, failing forward, I keep getting these words mixed up. Falling, failing. Failing forward is taking responsibility. Learning from your mistakes. Knowing that failure is part of progress. And maintaining a positive attitude if you can. And if you can't, seeking prayer. So Michael Barada says, a failure is not a loss, it's a gain. You learn, you change, and you grow. And I don't know about you, but I want to grow. Isn't that what we're here to do? We're here to grow. So some key words: change. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Perspective. Wayne Dyer told us, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Resilience. There will always be an obstacle or a challenge that stands in our way. Building mental strength will help you develop resilience to those potential hazards so you can continue on your journey of success. And perseverance. Perseverance is not a long race. It's many short races, one after another, right? We talked about that last week where I showed you perseverance. This man waited 30 years to get his pilot's license. Talking about somebody persevering. And I didn't tell you guys, he talks about it every year. I want my pilot's license, I want my pilot's license, I want my pilot's license. And so I said, okay, your birthday's in October. If you haven't started by October, I don't want to hear about it again. So, bam, when I said that, he got the mental equivalence of it. He had it already, but he got that mental equivalence of it, and things started working in his life, and his job actually paid for everything. I think I talked about that last week. They sent him to Vero Beach for 10 weeks, and I got a vacation from husband, for 10 weeks, but he got the license. So failing forward is about losing some of the conditionings. I talked about that we've been conditioned. Some of us may have been conditioned that we need to do this and we do that. I talked about it last week, and it's surrounded by my high school where I talked about they kind of ushered the girls into home economics, typing, sewing, cooking, and they kind of ushered the boys into metal shop, wood shop, masonry, and things like that. That's all programming. Because what are we seeing now? Our Gen Xers and millennials, they don't subscribe by that. They are making their way. I met a young man at the Chamber of Commerce. He was 24 years old, and he had made $2 million in a couple of years. And he did that by introducing a product that's already on the market, but he had a connection to it because his father, unfortunately, was wearing it when he had a massive heart attack. So he used that feeling behind what was going on in his life, and he started marketing this product that's on the market every Christmas. You see it on the television to a younger generation, and they ate it up. They loved it. They loved it. We have to have a heart connection to what we want to do. And so he had that heart connection, and it was successful for him. So author John C. Maxwell says, fail early, fail often, but always fail forward. And so we've had some failures in our lives that we've had to pick ourselves up from, and we've probably failed forward. I mean, there's probably some fail backwards that went on, but then we had to pick ourselves up and fail forward. And a couple of people who demonstrated that. So Albert Einstein, it was said that he didn't speak until he was 3 years old. And that when he got to grade school, even though he made good grades, his teachers thought that he was just lazy. I don't know about you, but I like to be that kind of lazy to achieve at the level that he achieved. Vincent van Gogh. So one painting in his entire life, but painted over 900 paintings. And I don't know about you, but I don't have the mental equivalent right now to be able to purchase one of those. But probably in his lifetime, he felt failure. And then Jim Carrey dropped out of high school to help his family. But then what happened? In Living Color. And he was one of the hottest comedians and still pretty darn funny. Would you agree? So it's not that we won't fail, but how we pick ourselves up from that failure. So first we need to redirect, better and bless. The secret to moving forward is cultivating a sense of everyday wonder as a guide and constant companion. And then second, opportunity. We must look at these things as an opportunity to move us forward, because we will fall back. But then, even if we fall 2 steps back and take 1 step forward, we still have taken 1 step forward. And so third is bounce back resilience. Sometimes a lesson of failure is not to make success certain, but to show us how to fail. So this morning in the car, I have my granddaughters that I talked about last. She had her little video game. And okay, it's a 30-minute ride here. And she was playing her little video game. And she was like, it's not fair, it's not fair. And her sister, her big sister, kept saying, it's okay, you're going to get the rainbow, you're going to get the rainbow. And then 30 minutes of this, we're driving, and then Daryl said, he said, Zara, I'm going to take the video game away from you if you don't stop crying. And I said, don't take it away. She needs to learn how to fail. We need to learn how to fail, and then we need to learn how to pick ourselves up. I see so many youth these days that if they fail or they get rejected, they're devastated. When I was growing up, it was hard luck. Too bad. And you carried on. So I said, leave her alone. I know it's grating on the ears, but she needs to learn how to fail. And that way she can appreciate when something good happens. She can pick herself up and she can move forward. Because I don't want to see her one of these teenagers that, don't know how to have failure or rejection, because it will come in our lives. We've seen it. We've seen it. That was just this morning. So I want to wrap this up by saying there is potentiality more to gain from failure than there is to lose. Failing forward in your work means that you are growing. You are growing. Failing in your life means that you are growing also. So I'm going to ask David to cue the the slides. And then we're going to do just rapid fire, and I'll wrap this up. We have some supporting quotes. And so, right there you can see the talk title, Failing Forward. But the first slide that he's going to get to is, we may have some failures in our lives, but let's read it together. We have within us a power that is greater than anything that we shall ever contact in the outer, a power that can overcome every obstacle in our lives, right? We have that power within us. And that was said by our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, because we have that power within us. There it is. I can see it now. And David, if you'll go to the second slide, please. The mind is a magnet. We can say these together. The mind is a magnet, and we attract that with which we identify with the self. A mind is a magnet. What are you attracting? What are you attracting? It's a magnet. You know magnet. It sticks. The third slide. We are bound by nothing except belief. We are bound by nothing except belief. What are you believing for? What is that mental equivalent? One of the things that I did when I left my job is I started taking speaking classes. Get your talk ready to rock. And I started speaking at different women's leadership groups. And then I found myself on the big stage. And guess what I talked about? The Chamber of Commerce, they actually invited me to come and be a part of this 10th annual Women's Leadership Conference. And I'm not saying that to be boastful. What I'm saying is, what did I speak about? I spoke about belief. Because I was going through that right then, and because I had lost the job, and then I had to pick myself up and figure out, what am I believing in my life? And that's what I wanted to share with everybody. What are you believing for in your life? Because there's a power and a presence within us that always says yes. Yes to our thoughts. It says yes. So what are we believing for in our lives? What do you want to outpicture in your life? That teaching symbol that's up here is all about this part down here. What's about this part up, these two parts up here? But if you want to know what you're thinking about, look at your life. And that's kind of, I love our teaching because it's really in your face. If you want to know what you're thinking about, look at your life. Because it is the outpicturing of your thoughts. And then the next slide says, let's read it together. Know that nothing can hinder you but yourself. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can, you can. There's a song, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. You believe you can soar? You believe you can soar? And so the last one is failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. All right. So don't give up. Don't give in. Joy comes in the morning. So we may have darkness at the night, but joy comes in the morning. So just know that. Believe that. Live that. A failure is just an opportunity to lift yourself up higher and higher and higher. Principle is not bound by precedent. No matter where you started, it's where you end. No matter where you started. I used to be this, I used to be that. I can't do that. I need a degree. I need this, I need that. Oh, I came from a bad family. Oh, I came from poverty. I came from this, I came from that. What is your story? Because we can have a lot of stories. But principle is not bound by precedent. If you believe you can fly in your business, in your finances, in your health, in your life, then you can do it. Get the mental equivalent of it, and you can have it. There's a Bible verse that says, don't say I am sick. Say I am healthy. I am well. Say I am prosperous. We believe in affirmations in these teachings. I am prosperous. I am healthy. I am whole, perfect, and complete. All right. All right. I can soar. See me running through that open door. All doors are open to you. All doors are open to all of us. All doors are open to all of us. Step through them. Step through it. Don't hang around in doorways. Don't hang around in doorways. Didn't they tell us that was the safest place during the earthquake, to be in the doorway? But we don't want to hang out there, do we? We want the darn earthquake to be over so we can step through and say, thank you, God, I'm alive. A little rock and roll went on, but I am here. So if you're here for a purpose. Live your purpose. Live your vocation. What is your voice? What wants to be heard? Only you can give it. Only Brother Mark can give it. Only Gilman can give what he gives. Only David can give what he gives. Eileen, all of us in here. Al, who writes such beautiful songs. So don't let a failure stop you in your tracks. Cross over those tracks. And so I just invite you this week to just think about what you're thinking of. Think about what's going on in your head, in your mind. There was a church a couple years back that gave their congregation these little bracelets that says a complaint-free world. And so every time they complained, they had to take it off and put it on the other one. It was like a 30-day commitment. But every time you complained, you had to take it off and put it on the other one. And then it started all over. So if you got to day 10 and you found yourself complaining, you have to change risk and you got to start all over again. So just take stock of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. If you have some goals that you want to pursue, write them down. Put them in writing. Don't keep them up here. Put them in writing. And use that power and that presence to guide you. So we talk about meditation. We talk about visioning. We talk about getting the mental equivalent of what we want. So these are practical tools that you can use in your everyday life to move yourself from where you find yourself to where you want to go. But don't give up. If there is a stepping back on your path, you can take a step forward as well. So you might have to take a step back, regroup, and then move forward. And that's all I have for today. So namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonja.
You're welcome.
Sonja, come on. So just to recap in short, when you fall down, what do? Thank you. That's your cue, David. Coming into the world then. You turned away when I looked you in the eye, and hesitated when I asked if you were all right. Seems like you're fighting for your life, but why? Oh, why? Wide awake in the middle of your nightmare. You saw it coming, but it hit you out of nowhere. And there's always scars. When you fall that far, you lose our way. Get back up again. It's never too late to get back up again. One day you gon' shine. Maybe not now, but not forever. It's our way to get back up again. Get up, you gon' shine again. Get back up again. Maybe not now, but not forever. Maybe not now, but not forever. You rolled out at the dawning of the day, heart racing as you made your little getaway. Feels like you've been running all your life, but why, oh why? Pull away from the love that would have been there. Start believing that your situation's unfair. But there's always scars. You fall that far, you lose our way. Get back up again, never too late. Get back up again. One day you're gonna shine. Maybe not now, but not forever. We get back up again. Get up, you're gonna shine again. Never too late to get back up again. Maybe not now, but not forever. Love calling, love calling. You got to know that this is love calling. This is love calling out to the broken. This is love calling. This is love calling, I am so broken. This is love calling. We lose our way, we get back up again. It's never too late. Maybe not now, but not forever. Lose our way, get back up again. Get up again, we're gonna shine. Never too late to get back up again. Maybe not now, but not forever. Lose our way, get back up again. This is love calling. This is love calling, get back up again. This is love calling. This is love calling, out to the broken. This is love calling,
All right. Ooh, what do we do when we fall down? All right. So David's going to put on the affirmation for this talk today. And let's read it together. I persevere with the strength of spirit within me. Let's say it again. I didn't feel that. I persevere with the strength of spirit within me. Say it like you mean it. I persevere with the strength of spirit within me. All right, all right. So now it's time for our conscious giving. So you may see an envelope on your table or on your chair, wherever you're sitting. And so this is in order for us to properly credit you, because at the end of the year we calculate, tally up how much giving, and then we send you a statement that you can use for your tax purposes. So I just ask you to stretch your hands forward. And now it's time for our conscious giving. I invite you to consider that the same portal from which you give from is indeed the same portal from which you receive. So let's expand to be bigger and bolder givers, as well as bigger and bolder receivers. So I ask the ushers to. And we also have Zelle and Venmo and PayPal that you can give if you're online, or even if you're here.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
And so if we can read our affirmation together, I think it's on the screen. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you. And so you may also see these on your tables or on your chairs. This is our prayer request form. Please fill it out if you have a prayer request, and it will be distributed to our practitioners, our ministers that are here, and we will pray for you. So I'd like to invite the practitioners and ministers that are in attendance to just circle around and also our practitioner I don't see Joe. Just where we are. You can be where you are. You can come up here, wherever you want to be. We just circle this. We believe in consciousness here. And so it's all about our consciousness. And so if you have a prayer request, please fill it out. Also, we have 1-minute miracles after the service. So what can we know for you? What can we hold for you? And so, And so what do I know? I know that there's a power and a presence, and I call it God. And I know within this power and a presence, there is love, there is peace, there is joy, perfect health and wholeness. I know that in this presence, there is beauty, because when I look out amongst the people here, I can see the beauty. When I imagine the people that are watching us online, I can imagine your beautiful faces. When I look outside, I see the magnificence of God in the trees, in the birds, in the animals, in everything. So I know that God is everywhere present. Right here, right now. Always. And what I know about each of you and myself is that we are the demonstration of that God, that love, that peace, that power. We are the expression of it. And so how we show up in this world is an expression of that one power, one presence. And so I don't know about you, but I want to show up in love. I want to show up in joy. I want to show up in peace. I want to show up in power. I stand here before you in the power. And you can too. You are standing in your power. So I just invite you to just know that you will have stumbles on your path, but it's only meant for your good. It helps us to grow on this journey we call life. It helps us to love, to get out of our head and get into our heart, and to live that presence of God. And you don't have to say anything out of your mouth, because when people come upon you, it's all over your being, and they can feel the presence and power. So know that you are loved. I was speaking to a young man yesterday, and he was talking about how when he woke up to who and whose he is in this world, and the love, unconditional love that he felt, and he felt like, I'm not worthy of it. We talked about the prodigal son going out into the world, but when he came back to his father's house, there was a feast prepared. And so when we open up to spirit and we open up to love, that is coming back to center. That is coming back to joy. That is, the banquet is set, and we may partake of it. And so from my heart to yours today, be blessed, because you are. Know you are. Be loved, because you are. Know that you're loved. From the highest, you are worthy to be loved, because you're part of the one. And it's not even about worthy. It's your right. It's your birthright. You are born into this. So live it, love it, give it. Be it. And so it is. Thank you.
Let the light of Spirit shine through me. Let the light of Spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world, let the light of Spirit shine on. Let the light of Spirit shine through me. Let the light of Spirit shine through you. As our grace and love brighter world, let the light of Spirit shine on. Shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. You wanna come up here? Shine on, shine on. Let the light of Spirit shine on. Let's do that chorus. Let the light shine on. Let the light of Spirit shine on. Let the light of Spirit shine on. Let the light of Spirit shine on. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Got to let it shine.
Let it shine on.
Shine on.
Woo! Al Yankee, everybody.